Hey gang, welcome to the shop. So, 2021 Dodge Promaster. You see me do a lot of Raptor videos. This one's going to be a little different. This we're doing lizard skin. So, shop's a little packed right now, so I apologize that my normally crappy videos, this one's going to be probably a little crappier. So, here's the deal. This van comes to us from George over at Humble Road. The guy builds just awesome conversion vans. You can live in, camp in, whatever. That's what he does. So go over and check him out. It's Humble Road here on YouTube. So this particular customer does not want any kind of Raptor liner on the vehicle. Okay, fine. It's not for everybody. What's unique about this van and the owner is that the owner's a little on the tall side. And there isn't enough room to put a subfloor, the proper subfloor that George likes to use in his vans. So we're going to do the insulation from underneath. How are we going to do it? Well, we're going to use a product called Lizard Skin. Now you've probably seen a ton of Lizard Skin videos, and they're great videos. I mean, people got their cars on the rotisseries, they're able to shoot up, they shoot the car, in an upright position, or they're doing test panels. Well, here we're going to do a fully assembled vehicle. So all the action that's going to happen really isn't going to be up here. It's going to be down under the truck. So let me get you set up down there. I'll take you underneath. I'll show you what I've done so far and show you what it takes to be able to do this properly. All right, so let me give you an explanation. We're down under the truck right now. Okay, truck's jacked up. I got the rear wheels off of it. Working on a vehicle that's already assembled is going to be a little different than a brand new build. So here's what all we got going on so far. Here around the exhaust system, there's masking paper and tape. All right. Now primarily we're shooting from the exhaust system back. Okay, the exhaust system forward is taken up by the engine. I'm sorry, the vehicle from the exhaust forward is taken up by the engine, fuel tank, transmission. There's just no practical way of shooting that unless I, take all that out, which is not going to happen. All right, so in order to make everything happen the way I want it to happen, over here I have the exhaust system all wrapped in tape, or paper rather, all the way down the back of the vehicle, okay? Now, the other thing that we did is that the lizard skin is a lot like Raptor liner. Whatever you spray becomes a permanent part of the vehicle. So any connections, anything that has to move, will not move after that. So, getting back to what does it take to do this? All right. So right here above the exhaust, that area there is not going to really get a whole lot where that heat shield is. Okay, but we still wanted to protect the lines. So all of this sheet metal has to get done. Now where the factory put on this coating here, we're going to go right over that. This setup is for the emergency brake cable. Okay, so there's a rod that comes out, goes to a lever. We don't want that all getting stuck. Now, where the fuel lines and brake lines run down, okay, all these plastic clips that are meant to come apart, we got those taped over so that they'll still come apart. And they don't have to be great because, the lines are made out of plastic. They're not going to rot. But if it ever has to be serviced, I want to make sure that they can get it apart. Back there, there's, in that corner, there's another junction that has to come apart. So that's all taped up. Back here where the equalizing bar is for the emergency brake, that's all taped up. The cables themselves are taped up. All right. There's a brake line union someplace in here. Well, we got those taped up so that they could come apart. Got the bump stops taped up, and then we did the back sides of the brake rotors, okay? We're not doing anything on the front. The bolts for the anti-sway bar, we covered those up. Now moving further back, you'll notice a spare tire is not in here, nor is the mechanism for it. So I took all that out. All right, it's just a lot easier. It's only a couple of bolts. Took all that out to make sure we get full coverage, and also, well, it's quicker than trying to tape all this up. So, and then the exhaust system all the way back is taped up. These bolts, like for the exhaust hangers, again, you know, make sure that if they ever have to be removed, at least where the bolts come off of, won't violate the lizard skin. If the whole bracket has to come off, that's a different story. But again, it's just what I like to do. Now, there's a couple of processes that's going on here. We're going to do the ceramic, and then we're going to do the sound control. Now, the sound control actually is white, so it's going to match the top of the van. I think it's going to look pretty cool down here, so that's why I wanted to take the time to tape a lot of this stuff up. I think it'll be a nice contrast. The other thing is, see all these little holes? Okay, so the factory puts in these holes. We're going to be using a product called fluid film in there. And it comes with a long wand, and we can really get in and rust-proof all of this. The other thing, there's, I don't know, 132 body plugs that the factory puts in. They go in these holes, okay? And these holes right here. And again, we'll be doing fluid film. Now, if you've ever seen a Promaster on the road, you know that they pretty much rust from the factory. So we're going to do the best we can to mitigate that. And the great thing is that these body plugs, these body holes, they go all the way down the rockers, all the way down the quarters, and even up into the doors. So we got lots and lots of access. You know, this area right here inside all these joints, okay, we'll be spraying the crap out of that. There'll be quite a bit. So, again, I'm going to apologize for the quality of this video not being the greatest. But, unfortunately, without a lift or without turning this thing up on its side, I really don't have any way of shooting a great video. So, I'm sort of going to be showing you this the same as, well, if you were doing this at home. That's kind of what I'm doing. All right, let me get this stuff mixed up and ready to go. So, just to recap, the bottom of the vehicle has been scuffed. Everything has been taped. I just need to wipe it down with wax and grease remover. I'm not going to bore you with that process. When I bring it back is when I'll actually start mixing the product, getting it in the gun, and I'm going to show you something special about this gun. Because as you know, if you're trying to spray this upside down, well, it ain't gonna work too good. But you're gonna love what I have in store. Okay, so now at this point, under the van, like I said, it's scuffed, it's taped. Hit it with the wax and grease remover. The gun I already have set up to 70 psi. So now all that's left is to get this into here. Well, no, there's one more step. So, after this is opened, I gotta tell you, I don't know what they make this stuff out of, but man, this 2-gallon bucket, it's got to weigh the same as 4 or 5 gallons of latex paint. So they give you a paddle mixer, goes in the drill, run it backwards, slow speed. Now, the reason why you go backwards is that the blades of the paddle can actually damage the ceramic particles. Now, this stuff's been sitting for a while, so I'm going to give it a good long mix here. Last thing I need is any chunks coming out and clogging up this gun. Which again isn't the end of the world because, well, it's a water-based acrylic. Alright, I think I beat that up pretty good. You can see just how thick this stuff is. Alright. Let's try to get some of this back in the bucket. And yeah, it smells like acrylic latex paint. Alright, so that's going to go in the bucket. Okay. Now comes the icky part. So, you've probably seen in other videos, pour from the label side because your instructions are on the back. That's exactly what I'm going to attempt to do here. Yuck. All right. Now. Gun's loaded, air pressure set to 70. This isn't like a paint gun where you have a little bit that you can pull and you get an airflow. As soon as you pull this trigger, product's coming out. But I'm already regulated down to 70. Now, I'm sure somebody out there is wondering how the hell are you going to shoot this like this if this is hitting the ground. They give you a 90-degree nozzle. So basically you're just going to shoot like this. This is going to shoot straight up and hopefully not directly into my face. Okay, well, here we go. All right, everybody, day 2. So I kept on calling it ceramic yesterday. That was the soundproofing that I put on, so I apologize about that. What's going on today is the actual ceramic coating. Okay, and it says, I know because it says CI, so ceramic. Ceramic insulator is actually what it is. So this particular product, also from Lizard Skin, is white. So it matches the bottom of the vehicle. Like I said, it's a brand new truck. And even though it wasn't white from the factory down there, we're gonna make it white so it matches the top. Call it an OCD thing. As soon as I figure out how to get this tape off of here. Need a nap after that. Okay. That was a blast. You ever see somebody struggle so much just to open up a bucket? Good Lord. Woodpecker's up. Okay. Well, this has been sitting since November, but I'll get the paddle mixer, see what it looks like. All right, well, after copious amounts of mixing, I think this is at the state where they want it to be shot. They said cake batter. I guess we're somewhere between cake and waffle. Okay, well, the big test is going to be whether or not it pours into the can, which I think it'll be fine. Nothing like making a mess first thing in the morning. Alright, so it's kind of one of those second verse, same as the first. Alright, so let me get you set up down there, see if I can't get you a better view of what I was doing yesterday. Alright, so gun's still set at 70. Got the white product in here. I'm just going to do a little bit so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. After that, I got to move the camera because I don't want to get stuff sprayed all over it. So, here we go. All right, now looking under the van, I don't even need a light. Everything is coated in white ceramic. There's the compressor. Put the spare tire back on and took off all the masking tape. I tell you, not since I worked at Viking Yachts am I going to say this, but this looks like an inside of a brand new boat. Very, very happy with the way that came out. Now, the last job that I'm doing, fluid film. There's the gun. To show you how this guy, show you guys how this works real quick. So the gun has this long wand on it, and basically the idea, really simple. It's got a 360-degree nozzle on it. Don't know how much of that you can see, but that's going to go up inside where I took all those body plugs out. Push that as far forward as it goes. Trigger, slowly pull it back. And because that 360 nozzle, it's going to coat everything on its way out. Generally what will happen is as I pass by another hole, it'll shoot out that hole. Now the trick here, take your finger off the trigger before it comes out. One more. Alright, so you get the general idea. There's 4 million holes under this truck, and I'm going to be coating some of the suspension and bare metal that's under the truck, not the exhaust. And then after that, I'm done. Alright, y'all, I'll see you in a bit. Alright, gang, that's going to be a wrap. So, takeaways. The lizard skin, that was pretty easy to work with. The fluid film, what a mess. If I can ever get this thing in spray cans with the hose, I will. What a mess. But what it does for the vehicle, I get it. So yeah, there's gonna be a trade-off. So it is what it is, right? Either ways, job's done. Ready to go back to George over at Humble Road and finish getting built out. Well, if you learned anything, let me know. If you didn't, sorry. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to reach out to us, Jersey Shore Fabricators at yahoo.com is the email. And Jersey Shore Fabricators LLC over on Facebook if you want to message us. Alright, gang. Until we see you next time, peace.